Today I want to talk about money. Money's not a topic that I normally talk about too much, even though it is a big part of my life. Normally I'm focusing more on emotional healing or physical healing or mental healing. But money is actually a huge thing because for most people that's where a lot of fear is held around money. So I'm excited to start to talk a little bit about money because it's actually a big part of who I am. So you may know this, you may not know this about me, but it's a big part of who I am. To give you an example, when I was 12, I started investing. And from the age of about 12 to 18, I turned $5,000 into $25,000. I've created multiple businesses. I've sold multiple businesses. I've sold probably $500,000 worth of products around the world. I've sold probably $250,000 worth of services around the world. And money is energy. That's all it is. So some people, when I start to talk about money, you'll have your own perception about that. You'll have your own beliefs around that. Because money carries so much energy. Depending on what your parents thought about money, your grandparents thought about money, depending on how it's impacted you, whether it's come to you easily, whether it's really been a struggle, all this will have an impact on how you believe, your beliefs, and your mental structure is set up around the physical form of like a piece of paper with a number 1 on it, or a piece of paper with a number 5 on it. But as soon as it's like money, it's a big thing because it's energy. If I go and hand over $5 at a shop, someone could give me back a really fresh, beautiful sandwich that will really nourish me. If I don't hand over $5 and I say I want that, there's probably no sandwich coming back my way. And a sandwich, think about the energy that goes into making a sandwich. Well, someone has to get the flour and actually make it at in the ground, in the farm. That has to be transported. Then the chef has to put everything together. Then they have to bake it. It's like hours, years worth of energy, cultivation, life force. And then this piece of paper is exchanged for that huge amount of energy that actually produced all the way back with all the people involved to produce this sandwich, which nourishes me, gives me energy, gives me life force. So money at its pure form is simply energy, and it increases your ability to manifest. If you have a deep desire to live in the mountains, live by nature, live by like this fresh running stream of water, and that's just like heaven to you. If you have money, you could make that happen a lot easier, most likely, than someone without money, unless you wanted to go completely off the grid. Yet if you're watching this video, you're not completely off the grid because you're connected. You're probably living in a country with a house and you've got internet, so you're connected. And when you're choosing to live in this world where there is connection and there is money, then having money makes life often a lot easier. Now, I'm not suggesting that some people use money in very potentially negative ways, and it's an abuse of power, and they are trying to fill a hole inside themselves and a fear, and they're just more, and they're destructing things along the way. I'm not talking about that type of manifesting. I'm talking about the more value you offer someone. For example, if I offer you value, the exchange a lot of the time will just be money. If you offer me value, the exchange will be money. I'll probably give you some money and there's an exchange. So the more value you offer the world, the more value you offer others, often the more money you'll make. So this is something to be aware of and something to look for. If you're looking to make more money, it's like, okay, how do I offer more value? Yet we can look deeper than that. We can look at the energetics behind money. Often money is linked to your relationship with the masculine energy. So the masculine energy is about forward movement, it's about thinking, it's about the mind, it's about pursuing something, having a goal. Now, the feminine is more drawing things in, more receptive. But the energy of money is often very connected to your relationship with the masculine. Now, where does the relationship to the masculine come from? It often comes from the relationship with your own father. So something to look at. Okay, like, what is my relationship to money? A way to work out what your relationship to money, the fastest, easiest way to work out your relationship to money is check your bank account. If it's low and you're struggling, most likely it's a negative relationship with money. If there's an abundance of money and you have a lot of money, or money comes easily to you and maybe you invest and give some away and go on all the holidays that you like, and then you've probably got a really positive relationship to money. So rather than having to dig and do these muscle tests about what's my relationship to money, just check out your bank account. You'll see what your relationship to money is like. Now, if it's positive, that's fantastic. And if you were sort of given that by parents, grandparents, just naturally the way you grew up, that's great. If your relationship to money is negative and you notice that you don't have much money, you notice that when you think about money, it brings up frustrations, it brings up feeling of constriction. Even when you think about money, you can pause this video and just feel into, okay, money. And often if it's a negative relationship, there'll be tightness, maybe in the throat or the solar plexus. Often it will be the solar plexus. This is the powerless or power center. Be that hurts a bit and I'm going to constrict there, or the shoulders will come forward for protection. There's lots of ways we can look for to discover what your relationship is like to money. I can see how important it is for people, and I can see how much fear people project onto money, the symbol of money. It's fear inside ourselves. Rather than going to that, it's I'll project that out onto the symbol of money and blame money. And this is a never-ending cycle and a loop, and you're stuck and you can't get out. Also, it's not about more money, I'm getting so much money, that's amazing, I'm just more money, better. It's for someone, their financial freedom will be here, and that'll be really wholesome for them. For another person, their freedom's here, and maybe this person wants to create communities around the world to support transformational spaces for people, and they'll need hundreds of millions of dollars to achieve that. So that's their limit. And another person is more connected to their family and just themselves and the softness of being with nature, and for them it's 90,000 a year is that's total freedom and joy. Another thing that's really important to me is my freedom. So have been very aware my whole life really not to fall a slave to money. For example, break my own boundaries just so I can earn money, override my energy over just if I'm tired, keep working. It's no, that doesn't work for me. It's I have boundaries, and this is where I do my work, and this is what I do, and I keep within those boundaries because my life's much bigger than money. But if I provide value and I have those boundaries and I have my freedom in terms of I want to travel 3 months of the year, or I want to go there, or I want to do this experience, or I want to do this $10,000 training, and I want to... Having the freedom to do those things is really important. So also not just working yourself into the ground to make more money. It's really finding that balance, that middle ground, that flow. But we need to discover what is your relationship to money. So I'll be talking a little bit more about the relationship to money, the subconscious beliefs around that. Also investing and how that can work. And do you have money working for you, or are you working for the money? And that's a big thing to discover as well. But that is all from me. And yeah, I'm excited to keep sharing about everything that I've been sharing about, and also start weaving more of something that I'm really passionate about, which is the topic of money.